I'm not okay. I got me flushed.
No, I'm literally obsessed.
Hey,
Hey,
besties.
besties.
Welcome to
Literally Obsessed.
It's Cassie.
And Brittany.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, y'all. How are you doing? Welcome to the throne room scene, everybody.
Episode
13. Lucky number 13, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Literally.
It is.
Wow, we did that because
Can you-
we're...
Can you guys hear this?
Can you hear it? So, in honor of this being the throne scene, we wanted to go all out. Or of a sorts. Since this is a very steamy scene, if you haven't read Fourth Wing, you shouldn't be here. But this episode needed a little bit of a little
Liquid
spice.
courage.
A little liquid courage.
To be able
So-
to deep dive into the things we're about to deep dive
Yes.
into.
So I made Brittany and I this lovely little drink from, I did not make it, like the recipe, but my bestie did, and it is watermelon moonshine with some club soda and lime juice. So I highly recommend, if you want to have a little fun drink while you listen to this episode, or a little coffee, matcha, whatever it does you do, drink along with us.
Whatever it does you do.
What is that southern thing they say?
I don't know.
Don't dampen your dew.
Wet your whistle? Is that what you're talking about?
Let it something.
Dent your dew? That's what he says in
yeah,
Hairspray.
that's what I was thinking
Didn't
of,
mean
but
to
the
dent
opposite.
your dew.
Little lady.
Little lady.
Anywho, so we are sipping on some watermelon moonshine, little liqueur here. So don't mind us. This is kind of chaotic. We thought it would just be really fun to go through this episode with a little bit of liquid courage. And it's really good. For the people who are watching this right now, I hope you like the aesthetics. We put on our little red light to add to the, essence of steaminess. So I hope it's not too chaotic. But we are just going over chapters 47 and 48 today. So again, like last week's, it's just 2 chapters. But we really wanted to break it up because we wanted to give it all the love.
We'll be talking for a while.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay, so quickly, just want to remind you all about our Patreon and our newsletter. So you can find both of those in our link tree, in our description, or wherever you're watching this. Patreon, we have 2 tiers, and we are looking to build a super fun community. Newsletter goes out the first of every month, and it just kind of has our plans for the upcoming month. And then, quickly, our content and spoiler warning content.
Y'all, this is the one fucking episode where it's going to be crazy.
This is the one that family members get out.
Get the out. Love you.
Love you. Get out.
Please.
This is
Literally the reason why we have a content warning is because of this
scene.
chapter.
So, yeah. Y'all know what happens in the throne scene, so.
Yep. It's also spoiler warning, y'all. If you've come this far, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want this spoiled for you. So please read it before you go through.
All right. Shall we spill the tea?
Let's
Cassie,
spill the tea.
Start us off.
Starting with chapter 47. The epigraph before the chapter is really important, and it's hidden. I love how I read this. It's really important, and it's hidden under our urge to find out how this fight between Cat and Violet will go. In the epigraph, it actually says, defeating a dark wielder begins with knowing where they rank in age and experience. Initiates have reddish rings to their eyes that come and go depending on how often they drain. Asims?
I think it's ASIMs.
Asims?
Yeah.
Eyes fluctuate in degrees of red, and their veins distine when riled. I think it's distine, like they like something. Sages, those responsible for initiates, their eyes are permanently red, and their veins perpetually distended toward their temples, expanding with age. And then mavens, their generals, have never been captured for examination. So I know last week we talked a little bit about what the venons are, so we got that epigraph, so that's cool. Like I said, Kat and Violet are embarking on some girls not supporting girls sparring match. Kat's being the witty lady she is and is getting under Violet's skin during the duration of their cat fight and makes Violet very insecure about her relationship with Xaden. Kat rises Violet's emotions with her wild and crazy questions about all the things Xaden knows on the mat and in the bedroom. Violet breaks and mentions to Kat that it isn't her fault that Xaden doesn't love her, and Kat's responses was that Xaden is not capable of loving anyone. In this spiral, Kat reveals that they were engaged, and Miss Violet isn't taking this information well. Violet is also so close to almost killing Kat as Xaden yanks her out of there. Violet figured out that Kat cheated in those last moments, getting into Violet's head and raising all of the emotions that were pinning to kill her. Chapter 48, Brittany.
Chapter 48. All right. This epigraph starts out by letting us know that as a result of the Treaty of Eurasia, the power to represent the province of Tyrrendor has been transferred from the House of Ryerson to the House of Llewellyn. Xaden sympathizes with Violet and what she experienced with Kat and insists she sit on the throne, baby. It's throne scene time.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
I've got 3 things to say. God bless America. God bless our troops. And gentlemen, start your engines. Okay, anyway. I'm sorry about that. Violet is a little apprehensive at first, but Xaden reminds her that this is his house, his chair, his woman. Xaden goes to town, resulting in a very happy Violet. We have a strange moment of Xaden's thoughts going into Violet's mind. We will be discussing that later. And this happiness doesn't last for too long, though, as Xaden is seemingly regretting letting Violet read his thoughts. The two argue about Kat, and Xaden insists that Violet has nothing to worry about. We learn that Xaden is technically the king of Tyrrendor and is the Duke of Eurasia by birth, but the Llewellyns are on their side and currently governing the province. Xaden points out that Kat didn't make Violet feel anything, but she can amplify emotions that you already have. Our little lovebirds make up and head out on their separate ways, but not before Xaden reminds Violet to come to bed early tonight. All right, Xaden.
All right, guys. I'm just going to say it.
Let's hear it.
Damn. God damn. Just letting you know what the vibes for the rest of this episode will be. It'll be just us giggling and talking about this. So before all that, let's get into our little deep dive, starting with chapter 47 real quick. Before we get into the crazy shit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's dive into Venom for a second.
Yeah.
This is going to be like the only intelligent thing we say this entire episode. Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing I just realized as you were reading that, very interesting that this was the epigraph for this chapter. Right. Because usually the epigraphs kind of relate to what is happening in the chapter. There was like 0 mention of Venom.
Right.
So it's giving me a bit of a pause.
Yeah.
As to why that was the epigraph chosen for this chapter.
Yeah. I literally wrote it in the beginning because I didn't write it well, but I was trying to put the point across, like, we were in the middle of their fight, like Kat and Violet's fight. Yeah. And Violet had just realized, like, oh shit, Xaden trained both of us. And then somehow we get an epigraph just about Venom and how to distinct the rankings of them.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
So random.
Yes.
And then the rest of these 2 chapters, at least, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's very weird.
For fucking shadowing?
Like, is Kat a Venom?
Or are we talking about maybe she's a, what was they called? The Maves? She's a general? Maven? I don't know. Because I wonder, I don't know, like.
That would be crazy.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
They obviously have mind powers of some kind.
Powers and shook me like a dog.
It's just very interesting.
Very interesting.
I don't know. Like, so is it foreshadowing Xaden?
Maybe.
It's just a weird place to put it in.
You know, and I know the other week we talked about, like, I outrank Xaden saying, like, I outrank you in one every way but one. Maybe he's like, Brennan's.
You are the Maven of the Venice,
so I can't outrank you there. Maybe. I don't know. It was just very randomly placed.
Yeah.
In like such a heat of the moment, like skipping to the next chapter to see what happens between Kat and Violet.
Yeah.
And we get this little.
It's good information though that we will be bringing up. When
We asked about it last week.
Yeah, more in with the Venom, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Crazy. So to begin our Kat spiral, Kat is just so fucking wild.
yeah,
Like, we've talked about how Varish was a really good villain. We've talked about how he just was written so well to be like that most hatred but really well played villain. I think Kat is a really good villain in a way. And I know she's like not the worst person, but
yeah,
she knows how to hit Violet's insecurities, which I think makes her a pretty good villain in Violet's eyes. And we don't get a lot of villains like this where it actually has to do with like their relationship, not just like Violet's power or like
right.
with Venom or anything like that. I just think that she's really well written, Rebecca, so just letting you know. Also, her saying like the thought that I know what he tastes like, how the weight feels above me.
No, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I said, Violet, I can picture it too, girl. Because she says she can picture it. I'm like, no, girl, me too.
Yeah.
And I don't like what I'm seeing.
So, I mean, we don't have to go personal up here. I know it's the internet. No one goes personal on the internet. But I, in the past, have had someone come up to me telling me about an ex that I had and them sharing their experience as like a petty little thing. I remember being fucking distraught.
Yeah.
And being like, no one was ever supposed to know that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's like, oh my
of
God,
course.
how would you do that? And
Yeah.
you like would, you know, see them with them, regardless if it's like in intimacy or anything like that, but like in
Yeah.
a relationship.
Right.
I'd be fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take that girl and snatch her fucking hair off.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And what's also really scary is that Violet, I feel, talks about how she loves feeling the weight of him on her. And he, right?
Yeah.
She's mentioned that before.
She does, yeah.
And for Kat to say that, bitch.
That's crazy.
I would have killed her right there. She was better than me. She didn't.
Yeah.
She tried
The
all
lightning
her.
strike. Bam.
Like, ooh,
You're done.
you're done, bitch. Yeah, she's just so unhinged, and I kind of hate it, but I actually like it at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Going off of like these crazy quotes that Kat was saying, this one, she says, counting the seconds he tires of your frail excuse for a body and comes back to the woman who knows exactly what he likes and how he likes it.
Oh.
I put the emoji that's just like, because that's how I feel. Oh, for those of you listening, it's the one that's like violently shaking and it's a shocked face.
That one.
That was how I felt when I read it. I was like, oh. I know you didn't just say that, Kat.
okay.
Catriona.
The frail excuse for a body. That's hard.
No, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
And then saying a woman who knows what he likes and how he likes it.
Holy shit, she gagged her hard. I would actually punch her in the face.
Yeah, I think I
Right
would too.
And then in this part, she says the finger comment, right?
Okay, so she says, I'm going to just read the whole thing, okay? She says, you seem angry, Violet. Are you just now realizing you're nothing special? That you're just a convenient placeholder he can fuck? Her laugh is low and cruel. I know how good he is. I'm the one who taught him that little trick he does with his fingers. You know, the one where he curls and then cuts her off. I'm gagged.
Want to know what that is, though? Curls what? Curl how?
Show it to us,
How
Aiden.
many?
You know,
Say it.
no.
Say it. Say it. Say it. You planted the seed. Water it. Tell me.
I was gonna say, if it's what I think it is, cat, that's not like you didn't teach him that.
That's okay. I see what you mean.
It's a pretty common
Technique.
technique, if you will.
She's like, yeah, I showed him all of the ropes. What about the other? Sorry, Zayden, not to slut shame you, but what about the other like 20 people he slept with?
Yeah.
Were they before her?
Well, he does say that she was not his first by a long shot. This is the
Fuck.
exact quote.
He said, I've fucked around
So
before
don't worry,
her.
I've been around. Don't you worry, Violet. She didn't teach me everything.
What was his? His first one.
No.
I think he was like, I'm gonna guess he was like 19, 18, 19.
Yeah.
Let's say that. First year.
I
No, 19.
think like, really?
Yeah.
I feel like he's like a 17, 18.
Oh shit. Yeah, probably. He's kind of a
He's
rebel
kinda
like
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Period. King. Sorry.
But that's crazy.
No, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. That was uncalled for, Catriona. It was really
Little-
uncalled
where
for.
he curls. Oh my god. Please finish though. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, finish though. We want to know. I don't know. But just imagine someone's talking about your boyfriend. It's your boyfriend's ex, and
Gorgeous woman, by the way. Like,
yeah,
she's
and she
stunning.
says-
She's great.
she
of a
says,
sort.
"I know how good he is." That's kind of wild.
I know how good he is. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, at least we can agree on something. He's great, actually.
Thank you.
Damn, no, that will always forever be ingrained in my head. Always and forever. Okay, but also let's think about this. He was hearing all of it.
Right.
He heard all of this.
Right.
What was his reaction, do you think? Can you imagine? I know he was probably sweet of a sort, but he's just like, yeah.
He's like, me?
He was like, yeah, I guess.
And they're like, aren't you gonna stop this, Aiden? He's like, give it a second. I want to see where this goes.
He's like, wait.
Hold on, guys.
Keep it going.
He's like, what else do I do that you guys like?
That's hot. That's so hot. Sorry. Ugh.
I know we've discussed this before. I just have questions on the timeline because Kat does make a comment like, God, you don't know anything. Like, do you know why he didn't kill you that first year? He told me because we saw a future together, or like,
Right.
he made plans with her, whatever. So I just have questions because Xaden is like, we were done before I even met you. I'm just confused, like, did they break up but he was still like in contact with her? Because then why would she be using that against her? You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Okay.
it sounds like something Kat would do, but also,
For sure.
I don't know.
Let me throw this out there. Again, this is a theory of mine. Not even a theory. Thought. Opinion. Okay? Just letting all of you guys know that. This isn't fact. It's not written by Rebecca.
It's not
Just
canon.
came up with this myself. Just letting you guys know that. I think that they were broken up before. But of course he was in talks with them for, trading for weapons and whatever. And I would assume that she's telling her this because she's thinking like she had a power over her head and was like, oh no, like me and Xaden have been like on and off for like a long time, like until you came in the picture, blah blah blah. But in reality they were long over, but they were still of course talking because
Here's a
their
question.
deal.
Do you think like they were broken up but like they still were like friends with benefits type of
I could see that.
situation? So do you think
What?
like he met Violet but was maybe like he was like mad and took out his frustration with Kat?
I like that actually a lot
Throwing it
more.
out there.
I like that a lot more actually. Mad at her, so he like stopped it with her.
No, like mad at Violet,
Mad at Violet. Stayed friends with benefits with her.
Yeah, like maybe they would just hook up every once in a while, but it was like nothing more than that. But then like he was like, ugh, I think I'm in love with this girl. And then he went and like, because he didn't want to like her.
No.
So then maybe he went and like hooked up with Kat or something. You know what I mean?
God, we need to know more.
I need Xaden POV.
No, I need Xaden POV. I need that for the rest of the series.
I need it for everything.
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 And like a canon version, not like a fanfic one.
No, yeah. This is why I can't read the Rhysand POV, because I'll take that as canon and it's not. And so I can't read that.
Or it could be.
I mean, it could be in my mind.
In your mind and your mind only.
That's fair.
Guys, we didn't tell you this, but Brittany found
No.
I'm not going to go into crazy detail, but she found like a art, right?
Right.
For this is just such a total side topic, so sorry, but for the people who read ACOTAR, a lot of people like, you know, the 3 Illyrian soldiers, warriors, whatever.
Yes.
And they have made a bunch of fanfic / artwork of Feyre with the 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
We found a fanfic with the 4, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I read it out loud.
It is called A Solstice to Remember.
So please read at your own discretion, or just don't. That fucked me over for a week, I think, because that was insane.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
So I fear for those who write stuff about Xaden
that one,
or about other characters.
I could not take as canon because the characters
They were saying shit that
it
sense.
was not making sense for their
No.
character, so I could not take that as canon.
It was wild, though. I'll give it that.
It was wild, and all I'll say is I can't wait for Azriel.
'Cause
That's all I'll say.
Because we're big fans.
Big fans.
Big fans
of Azriel.
Yeah. I don't know why I brought that
Anyway.
up, but I was just saying, if you do read fan fiction, good for you. Whatever it leads to you thinking it's canon, but I just want to hear it from the author.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, so not Kat saying like I didn't tap out, thinking she was gonna win. She almost killed you.
I don't know. That didn't make any sense to me.
I think it was just like a pride thing.
It's a pride thing.
Like I didn't tap out though, so this would have been a fair match.
No, bitch, she would have actually killed you.
You would have died.
You would have died.
And I hate to tell you that, but you would have.
Kat just, she thinks that she's doing things, but she's actually not. The things that she says or like tries to do, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
But it's the pride. She's like, oh, fine, you should have killed me. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, she would have rather die.
Yeah. Stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Xaden throwing Violet over his shoulder like a quote unquote bag of grain has me literally kicking my feet. I also said I normally wouldn't find it attractive to watch someone work out or like lift things,
Yeah.
but I would pay to watch him.
Yeah. In those leather pants?
And those leather pants, to see him spar with Garrick, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. And I'm not trying to sound disgusting. I understand
Yeah.
that like it could sound disgusting, but
It's time we did things from the female gaze.
thank you. What's so wrong about the goddamn female gaze?
Yeah.
Why can't we have it?
Why can't we have it?
There's enough male gaze.
Yeah.
Let's even it out.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, I think it'd be really hot to see 2 sweaty looking beautiful men fighting.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But in a cute way and not like a
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they're just sparring. They're not crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a bag of grain, that's hard for me to pick up. Have you ever picked up like a really heavy bag of rice?
I mean, I make
At, like,
John do it.
Costco? Just
Because, are you kidding me? He gets like the 75-pound bags.
mm-hmm.
That's probably dramatic, but he gets the really big bags
That's
of rice.
about how big Violet is.
It's 75 pounds.
Very small.
I could probably lift her up.
But
Well, I could. That would be crazy if I
Yeah.
couldn't lift 75 pounds. I think I can. In a person?
in a person,
Yeah, not
maybe
if it
not
was just
like a weight.
Yeah, no.
But I've never found it I never found it super attractive, but I think I would find it attractive.
Yeah, I agree.
I just like the way that he walks up and just walks out of there.
Yeah.
Like just
It's like, all right, let's go.
he's like, cut it off. Okay, also to follow this, I think it's so funny Rhiannon throwing Xaden the conduit.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a funny moment, but it is.
No, it's just Ryerson. And then him with Violet and then just one hand catching it.
It's so hot.
So I get it. I get it.
it. It's just funny. She's just like, here you go.
Just like, you're gonna
You're
need
gonna
this,
need it.
bud.
She knows.
She
She had to
knows.
know. Okay, let's get into
All right.
chapter 48, guys.
Let's do it. All right. So before we get into the crazy stuff, I just want to pause real quick and acknowledge, going back to kind of what you said, how freaking awkward for Violet and Kat to be having this fight. And Xaden overheard the whole thing, but so did all of the cadets. How loud do we think they were talking?
Imagine
and,
they're like, Well, do you know that finger trick that he likes to? Yeah, I taught him that when he curls it. And
No,
people are
that's imagine being a cadet and you're seeing these two girls fight over Xaden. And then they're like, how does it feel to know that I know what he tastes like? I'd be like,
I hope the whole room was like, oh.
like, do you think they were responding? She just couldn't hear it.
Well, I think so. I don't. One thing about this whole damn series is that they're not discreet about anything when they're fighting. People can hear when they're fighting, when they're fucking, when they're literally anything's going on. Other people can hear it loudly, I'm sure, too. So it's funny to fucking imagine, like, innocent Sawyer.
He's like,
Xaden did what? Huh?
Riddick's probably like, hell yeah.
He's like, yeah, get it. He's like, what else did he do? He's the biggest hype man.
That would be good. I just think it's awkward.
I also think, I don't know if we didn't talk about this, but I have a couple quotes about it when Violet is just calling around being like, we're fighting all of this over Xaden, like over, like, I think it's petty of you to fight like another woman about this. And she's just like, no, it's not about that. But it's at the end of the day, it's petty.
At the end of the day, it's it's about a guy.
It's about a guy, honey. But Kat's like, no, it's exactly how she sounded like.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotta read this off, and I hope you didn't see this.
I did.
Damn it. For the viewers and the listeners out there. I said this in our outline. Okay, so, like, can we talk about how Xaden literally was like, I'm going to give this girl a marvelous munching session to cure her insecurities and show I love her. If that is not, like, the description of this chapter, then I don't know what it is. Have you seen those TikToks?
Okay.
Where it's like, making my boyfriend a delectable dinner because he's given me a couple respectable wiener rings recently. That's what I got the inspo.
No, I do want to know. I understand that he's like, hey, you're so upset right now that nothing I say will calm you down. Yeah. But also, why was this what was going through his head?
He was like, you know what? I'm just going to show her. I'm going to fucking show her how much I like her.
I mean, I guess, but
like, he literally says, he's like, nothing I will say will get to your head, so sit down.
So sit down and I'm going to town.
Isn't that wild. Crazy? How would that feel in the real world?
I'd be like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god. What's that? Are you proposing? What's going on?
On his knees.
He's just getting down on his knees. What's going on? What's going on?
I love how heat of the moment she is, and he's just like, nothing I'll do will fucking fix this. The only thing I know that will raise your emotions and have you convinced is this. And that's intense.
And that's what he does.
Okay, let's bring up the fucking big guns for this.
My house, my chair, my woman. Let's discuss this.
Shall we? For those who don't follow us on TikTok, you guys missed our hard-hitting video, our viral video. If you did watch it, I hope you enjoyed, but if you missed out, go check it out, by the way. Thanks guys for over 1,000 followers. Love you. We were coming back from where were we? The Rose Bowl? Yeah, we were coming back from the Rose Bowl flea market, and I think we mentioned this in the episode that we were filming that day, but we wanted to, get the vibes of the audiobook to listen to it while we were driving back home. And we happened to listen to the throne room scene. And if any of you guys have not listened to the audiobook, holy shit. Yeah. It's awful. It's really crazy and really funny and graphic listening it to that way, but I do want to hear the actual graphic audios that people were suggesting.
I do too.
I think we need to.
I'm gonna get the Audible free trial just to listen to it.
We listened to one. It was like on YouTube that we like looked up.
Yeah. And everyone was mad at us because it was so slow. I'm sorry, guys. That is what YouTube gave me. And I just don't mess with the speed on YouTube. I don't know. So I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. But it was really, really funny. And I think the best way we could listen to this chapter. So just wanted to shout out our TikTok, and to those who've watched it, if you haven't, it's really funny. Go check it out.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, let's just get into it.
Yeah, this quote, I was going to write it down, but did you write it down?
The fantasize one?
Yeah.
I have it in here. Okay. So, first, a little bit of context. Let me see. She's like, okay, I gotta backtrack just a little bit to give it more. She's like, in here? We can. And he's like, yes, we can. It's my house. And then he says my house, my chair, my woman. And she's just like, okay. They start kissing. And then she's just going on about how every single touch just sends me like in flames and blah, 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 blah. He hooks his fingers into the waistband of my pants. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Zayden. And before the fantasize quote, she says, instead of rising so I can get my hands on him, he pushes my knees wide. Mm-hmm. I gasp at the cold rush of air between my thighs, but an instant later, his mouth sets me on fire as he drags his tongue to the slick entrance of my... Okay. White hot pleasure streak through my body like lightning, and I cry out with the sound filling the hall. Crazy. And this is the quote. This is what I fantasize about when I'm away from you. He says against my heated skin, your taste, your scent, the little gasps you take right before you come. He settles in, his hands splaying wide on my inner thighs, pinning me in place as he uses his tongue. Blah, 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 blah. And then up here he says, is this what you think about? My mouth between your soft thighs?
That's crazy. Yeah. A moment of silence. Because that's crazy.
And she even says afterwards, God,
yes.
How can he think, let alone form coherent sentences?
Like, I mean, because it's not happening to him. That's how.
Holy shit. This is what I fantasize about. You know the song that was released by Ariana Grande? She's like, I fantasize about it all the time. That's what he sings. That's what he was singing in this.
That's what he's singing.
Yeah, that is a crazy fucking part.
Yeah. So going off of that, it's crazy to me. I'm sorry, y'all, but it's crazy to me that he reaches around her, grabs the conduit, and tells her to take it in his mind without stopping. Isn't that fucking crazy? He's in there. He's cooking. His other hand's busy, if you were wondering.
Oh my God, you're right.
His other hand's busy. And then he takes his other hand off her thigh, grabs the conduit, and thinks to her, take it. But he never stops.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. The way you explained that was perfect.
That's what happens. It's crazy. I gotta take a shot.
Jesus.
Going off of that, Miss Rebecca, you really know how to get us. Because saying that the sight of Zayden kneeling and fully clothed is what sends Violet over the edge. I get it. I can picture it. I just can only imagine this being in this series. I don't want to
because I think it'll tamper with my my original thought of how this goes.
Right.
But would it be a POV?
Huh. It should be.
Now it should be.
I was literally saying, so I know that I'm always like, cast me, and I am serious. Michael B. Jordan, if you're watching, or Rebecca. But so I was watching X the other day. I haven't seen it, guys. It was my first time watching it. In case you don't know what that movie is, they are filming a porno, and then they all die. Spoilers.
So good though.
The scene where they're filming it, and then they're like moaning super loud, and like you can see everything. I was like, maybe acting's not for me. Maybe it's not, because imagine having to come in. It's called like ADR, right?
Yeah.
Or something when you come in after and you re-record lines. They're like, okay, we just need you to like moan really loud
and like
and aggressively for like 5 minutes.
and then just come to an end
yeah.
with it. And you're like, got it, thank you so much.
Got it, thank you. And action. Like,
And then that I couldn't.
can you imagine? Because I'm also imagining how they're going to film
Oh my god.
them communicating mind to mind. That's a very important part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine they're in it. And then it's like them thinking like, is this what you fantasize about? Blah, 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 blah.
They're not talking.
No, they're not talking. It would have to be an ADR thing. I don't think I could do it. If you guys have faith in me though, I'll pull it out. Don't worry. But I don't personally think I can do it.
That's why actors are artists.
No, they
really
really
know how to let it.
That's
let it
why
out.
sometimes I'm like, actually, maybe I'm not cut out for this.
Because I don't think I could give it my all.
I don't know if I can do that.
I think about like actors who do interviews, like people who are on Euphoria, and they talk about like Sydney Sweeney. She's like, yeah, it was so awkward when my grandma and my grandpa found out
I don't know.
was
They
on
also told her
Euphoria.
she had the best tits in Hollywood.
Weird, right?
If my grandparents said that to me, I'd actually never speak to them again.
We are cut off from each other. It is pretty weird.
Yeah.
But imagine like having to explain that to your family.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I always
"Hi,
think about that.
Mom."
Like,
I hate my mom knowing that we talk about this kind of stuff.
yeah.
Let alone her.
No, I know. Participating.
Physically, it's on the media forever.
For everybody to see.
And also, I will give it to you guys, all you actors out there who do sex scenes, and like, how do you do that?
Yeah. I'm
I
curious.
know that there's coaches,
Yeah.
but
Imagine being an intimacy coach. I've seen some of the things too that they give the actors, because it's like, oh yeah, that way they're never like actually touching.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But how do they avoid that?
It's
Just
weird.
camera
I feel
angles.
more sorry for the guys.
Yes, because there's no way hiding that.
You can't hide it, bud.
You can't hide that.
Yeah.
And I wonder how that is.
I do too.
I want to be a fly on that wall a little bit.
So.
Because again, going back to 50 Shades of Grey, how the fuck did they do that?
No, those, I think I
'Cause
was
those
like,
were crazy.
no, they actually did it.
I think they did it.
I think they did it, and they
they-
just don't want to admit that. Because then that would be
that-
porn.
But basically, that movie was porn.
Yeah.
That's what this is going to be, too, if it shows it.
Yeah.
Because you can't hide this steamy stuff.
No, you can't. These are all very intricate to the
And
story.
they have to be in there. And seeing him
Fully clothed.
kneeled in.
Yeah. I get it.
Do you think he was kneeled, or do you think he was sitting on his heels?
I don't know. I think it
The
was
chair. The chair was pretty tall, right?
He was
'Cause
kneeling, probably.
kneeling fully,
Yeah.
not like you gotta sit back down for a second.
You
Need a
know, like
break.
sitting on his knees and heels, like a little princess.
He's like, I am sat.
Yeah, no, I imagine him kneeling.
Yeah.
So
Which
he's
is-
got mobility. You know what I mean?
He can move around.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, on Tyrandor's throne, y'all. On the throne.
Iconic.
On the throne.
Iconic. And Matt, I'm telling you, I think his search history would be like stain remover for cushion.
Throne cushions.
She was half naked, right?
Yeah.
Or was she fully naked?
No, she had like her shirt on.
That's crazy too. She got her. I mean, her whole boots and socks were off too.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's just. Yeah. That's crazy.
that's crazy.
And then he's got a kink. He's got
He
a bit of a
loves
kink. And I think it's the throne.
power play.
Because him being like, wow, look at you on the throne. That's kind of crazy.
He's
He's.
get by.
It's a.
Right after she sees him kneeling,
Mhm.
he goes in the mind. Right there, those gasps. That's what I hear when I wake. Already hard for you. So you're telling me he has sex dreams almost every night of her?
I mean, I don't want to get into the male anatomy too much.
Okay. When you bring it up like that.
Well, like, morning wood is a thing. Is that not what we call it these days?
It is. It's just
It's what we used to call it back in my day.
morning wood.
Have you never heard that?
I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, it's like a middle school term.
It is a middle school
We've
term.
been bringing back middle school terms a lot lately. Let's bring it back.
Morning wood.
Morning wood, let's bring it back. No, but like,
It's a thing.
that's not a secret. Guys wake up and
And they're
sometimes
already
that happens.
and
Yeah.
that, it's just a part of life. It's their natural.
Poor things.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't really care that much. I don't feel that bad.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify. But
I would hate
yeah.
to wake up and like, or just like we've talked about it before, like getting a boner in like a
Yeah.
public setting.
It must be terrible.
It must be terrible. Because
Must.
again, you'll never know if a girl is ready to go.
You'll never know.
But for a guy, everyone will know.
Yeah.
Awkward.
It's true.
So awkward. And then after all of that, speaking of Tyrandor's throne, him saying, every time I sit with the assembly, I'll be thinking about this.
Yeah.
And you.
That's crazy.
Can you fucking imagine? Also, we forgot, Brennan was in this room. And he got kicked out.
Kicked him out. Why? This is why I think he has a kink. Why did he go to the assembly room? Was it just the closest room he could find?
It's the...
Why did I feel like he took her there? It was a mission. It was on purpose. He said, "Kat's never gonna be the queen, but baby, you will."
You baby, you will. And literally him being like, and you loved me in spite of like my
He said,
rank,
"Kat's
whatever.
never seen this throne.
But you will.
You're on it.
You're on it. And I'm on you on it." But he likes to do it in a sneaky way.
Yeah.
He loves a sneaky moment.
Let's dive into Xaden's thoughts in Violet's mind. Those are his thoughts.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yep.
Okay. I've what?
I'm sorry, I just saw the swollen. And I just hate seeing that.
Okay, so let's dive into it,
Yeah.
and then I want to bring something else up, and then we will revisit.
Okay. Do you want me
So
to read it?
Xaden sends Violet his thoughts.
Yeah.
You can read it if you want to.
Okay.
I'm not going to force
I'll
you.
read it.
Okay, a dramatic reading by Cassy.
Should I start here?
I think you should. Yes.
Okay. This is after she's like almost there. It says, shimmering onyx wraps around my mind and everything intensifies. A driving, pounding, and uncontrollable need courses through me with every beat of my pulse, demanding an outlet, demanding I rip through the confines of the leather and trade her sweet taste for the incomparable perfection of sinking into her when she comes. Oh, that is a run-on fucking sentence. Holy shit.
Okay, so you know what? I'm just going to already start bringing what I'm thinking of.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is written weird.
It's so weird.
Okay, and the first time I read this, I was like, hold on. And I was like, I reread it about 3 times because I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Rebecca, what is this? It's written weird.
Yeah.
And I'll bring it up a little bit later when we get to like the thriving and theorizing. All I'm going to say is it's written weird because this doesn't seem like a thought you would have.
Right.
It seems more like, your intentions, your emotions, maybe like your thought process, but not like him even. Sorry, can I see the?
Yeah.
Okay, just saying. A driving, pounding, uncontrollable need courses through me. You would send those thoughts. That seems weird.
No,
it
just
seems
it's
like
a feeling.
it's your inner monologue
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, and not just like what you would say.
Exactly. And so you can go to the next part because then this one is written differently, and that's what I want to bring up.
Oh my god.
Well, you don't have to.
No, I will.
Okay.
But this is
Just pay
great.
attention to how this one is written.
Yeah, and there's like a little in between before this. She just basically says like she doesn't have Xaden in quotations. Does she say it out loud or?
I think she's realizing
Xaden.
That's Xaden speaking.
It's his desire flooding our bond, compounding my own, his desperation, his power brushing against mine. And this is, again, what he says, or thinks, whatever. I need to fuck her, to flip her over the arm of this throne and drive into her, but I can't. I need the nail marks in the wood, need her cries filling the whole fucking house, needing her knowing I can be what I can be for her, anything and everything she needs.
Aw.
She's heaven in my mouth.
A Lana Del Rey song.
Oh my god, it is good. Flawless, mine, and she's almost there. God's, yes, her legs are shaking, her walls are fluttering around my tongue. I love her so fucking much. Oh my god, I'm not okay. I got me flushed.
Okay. Can we
Reading
just,
that out loud is crazy.
the way that was written was very different from the other way that
This
the
is
first-
like his,
Mhm.
like what you would talk to yourself as. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like what you'd say to yourself.
Yes.
This one,
Is like your inner monologue.
yeah.
When you don't realize you're thinking about what you're doing.
Or you're explaining what you're thinking as well.
Yes.
Like saying a
Yes.
driving, pounding uncontrolled. I would never say that to myself.
Right.
I would just be like, oh, this is like really intense or blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Right. So I just want to bring that up for right now. We'll dive in a little bit more in a second. The only thing I want to bring up in between,
How did he do that?
I don't know. So the only thing I want to bring up in between is 3 feet and 1,000,000 miles away just makes me cackle.
It's so
What the fuck does that mean? He's 3 feet and 1,000,000 miles away.
Girl,
What do you mean?
he's actually in you in a way.
Well, no, because now he's at the table.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
But-
No, I'm like,
But I feel like it's the dramatic, like, okay, he is physically 3 feet apart, but she's like, it feels like he's 1,000,000 miles away.
girl,
but,
he just fucking,
but it's just,
she's so stupid.
it's just
so
one of
funny.
those lines that I'm like, Rebecca,
It's
Rebecca.
giving Disney Channel.
It's giving Disney Channel, 3 feet and 1,000,000 miles. I don't like it. I hate it. Every time I read that, I just cringe a little bit.
Forgot about that one too.
Okay, so back to this. Xaden's weird behavior.
Uh-huh.
Do we think it's because he's torturing himself or because she read his thoughts? And going off of that, did he send her his thoughts or did she read his mind and he's realizing he fucked up because now he knows that she's like intrinsic
yeah.
of some kind? Or, I mean, maybe he knew and he's like, oh shit, now she knows. How am I going to cover this up? You know what I mean?
I don't know, because he just was like, he was so into it and then it just snapped.
Well, and that's why it's just a little bit weird because it's, you know, him being like, I'm making a momentary vow of whatever to show you that I can worship your body without wanting anything in return. So is it just like, okay, he's torturing himself. He was close as well. And
Yeah.
he's just like, no,
He's like,
I can't. I have to just
prove my point
prove
that
my point. Or is it because when she's like, what was that? That was the hottest thing you've ever
Yeah.
done. He's like, I should not have done that. Why?
why would he regret that?
So that's what I'm saying. Is it like, shit, like she's read my mind now. Like now she knows she can do that type of thing.
Damn, but how did she do that? You know
And
what
that's
I mean?
the thing. I just have questions about their bond of like, this isn't the first time he's sent her images either from like his perspective or anything like that, but this is different because she was reading his mind in the moment.
Yeah, it wasn't like
Like an image that he sent
yeah.
her or a memory or something.
I don't know. Part of me thinks it has to be something like more rather than him just being like, oh no, I wanted to prove my point that you know, I don't need to myself to finish. I just want to pleasure you, blah 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 blah. Like this was about
his behavior
you.
is just very weird.
Okay, yes, when he says like please don't.
Mm-hmm.
And she says the words are forced through gritted teeth. It's the please that stops me in the tracks.
Yeah.
I'm hanging by a thread, so I'm begging you. Please don't.
So what does that mean?
He hangs his head and shadows slip under the dais, pushing my clothes towards me.
Yeah, like he's about to or
I don't
what?
know. It seems like the whole, I need to show you that I'm more capable of, not, what does he say? Of worshiping your body without, that just seems like his, like, what's it called?
Like, that's just the answer he's giving her.
Yeah, like, it's just like a last minute excuse, cover up, yeah. I would assume so, but why would that scare him to know his thoughts?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what's sketchy.
He's like, damn, you're just like me for real.
But like, she doesn't know he's intrinsic yet.
At this point, no.
She doesn't know.
Crazy.
So, okay. Moving on from that. The way that that Xaden is like, I'm just making a statement, and then Violet just immediately gets upset, and she's like, so this is about Kat.
Mm-hmm.
Great. This is about, like, shut up, Violet. He literally,
even without the action of what he was doing, she was able to read his mind or thought, whatever.
Yes, which he's like, you read my mind. You know how much I care about you.
Yep. Why is that any
Why
different?
are you, like, still pissed off?
I also like how his comeback was, of him being like, I don't like you thinking you're not the center of my fucking world, yet here we are, and before you start another argument, I'll fuck you later tonight. he's like I'm gonna get on top of this bitch. No, like, shut the fuck up. We are not arguing about this dumb shit anymore. I love that of him.
No, it's so funny.
So funny.
And then he says after that, something about, how they don't ask about each other's exes.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, but let's just ignore that like we usually do. It seems to be working out for us. Call her out. Thank you,
He's
Xaden.
sick of her shit.
Like, my God, I would be too. I'd be like, did I not just give you
the best fucking head I've ever given anyone?
Literally. And you're still upset?
You even heard my thoughts, bitch.
Yes.
You heard the way I felt while this was going on.
Ridiculous.
She's never satisfied.
She's never satisfied.
She will never be satisfied.
She's Eliza.
Yeah. I forgot.
No, Angelica.
The way I validated it too.
Yeah. Okay, so I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that Violet might not know what to ask all the time, because he's always like, Violet, you're not asking the right questions. I get it. She might not know what to ask. But also, why would Xaden bring up random information? Like, I was engaged to Kat for 4 months. Like, out of nowhere. Right? He would only bring it up if she asked. Like, why would your ex ever talk about their ex and how long they were together?
And also, he can't make the excuse that she was thinking about it because he can read her mind. She wasn't thinking about it in that moment.
Exactly.
I mean, she was thinking about it.
But he can't let her know that.
Well, yeah.
So that's why I think he always knows, like, you want to know, so you have to ask me.
Right.
Because I can't
But I do know it,
tell you.
Of course, it bothered her when the first time that Kat told her about it. And so I'm sure that maybe he was just waiting for the moment to bring it up. But this was not the moment to
I just feel like it's really random to be like, yeah, so by the way, me and Kat were engaged for about 5 months. It's like, okay. And then she probably would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Either way.
And that's fair.
So that's all.
That's fair.
But anyway, I'm crying, literally tears, at Xaden saying, so wait, to give you guys a little bit of background, this is when he talks about how, she's like, you obviously loved Kat. He's like, I didn't like her, didn't even love her. And she's like, okay, weird, because, she talked a lot about your sex life. And he's like, yeah, he says, you don't have to like a person to fuck them. And it's like, okay,
crazy.
whoa,
wow.
Valid, but okay, whatever. And then he's like, as far, like, if I recall correctly, you didn't like me the first time. And then she's like, no, don't say that. And then he's like, meanwhile, I was in love with you. Right? So him saying that he was in love with her when they first hooked up, even though she didn't feel the same way. And then him being, I have to pull it up. I'm sorry. Because it actually, like, hurt my heart a little bit. Okay, so he says, as I recall, you didn't exactly like me the first time. Do not finish that sentence. I jab my finger in his direction. On the other hand, I was already in love with you. And then he says, hardly seems fair now that I think about it. And I wanted you too badly to care that you didn't feel the same way about me. Not that I'd given you any reason to. Fuck, I wanted you to run in the opposite direction.
He was so afraid. She means so much to him.
It's just, and then him saying, like, hardly seems fair now that I think about it, but I just wanted you too much to care.
Protect him at all fucking costs.
No, I swear.
Oh my god.
And my little heart.
And then it gets into the point where they're talking about their previous lovers and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
When I loved when they mentioned Dane and hers kiss.
Oh,
and he was like, and I saw that and it was awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
He was, and I really liked this part as well. He said, and then I'd kick his blah 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 blah, basically saying like he would fight him, and then he says like, and then I'd kick his ass partially because that's what I do when someone challenges me, and more importantly for implying there's any other future besides the one where you and I are endgame.
Oh, that's so funny. So I wrote how much that line irritates me.
Okay, heard.
I just don't no, because let me explain why.
Okay.
I don't love him using the word endgame because that does not seem like his character. It seems so out of character for him to be like, a world where you and I are not endgame. I feel like it would be like a world where you and I don't end up together, or like that makes more sense for his character.
I see.
Where endgame just seems like something he would never say.
It's kind of modern.
Yeah, like it's almost too modern.
Yeah,
and like
I could
they
see
speak
that.
very modern, but there's just something about him saying endgame that just gives me a little
Really?
That's
I loved
not
it.
how he would talk.
You're like, I just asked if he would say that, and he said no.
Well, I just talked to him before we filmed this, and I said, did she make you say that? He said yes. I don't know, it just, I'm not saying it's not cute. I love the idea. He better not be lying. I love the idea of them being endgame. It just seems out of character for him.
That's fair. It's a weird wording.
But I like the sentiment.
Mm-hmm. I like where he was coming at.
The last thing I have to say is just Zayden Ryerson, ladies and gentlemen, our king of Tyrandor. That's a gentleman. Start your engines.
Dude. Can you fucking imagine? Can you just imagine?
What?
Just reacting to that.
Your boyfriend telling you he's the king?
Yeah. After what he just did. You're like
after he just
you're like, so you're
munched on the throne.
You're like, so you're the king.
Like, no, I love that she's like, wait, which also, I'm like, Violet, first of all, Kat said she wants him for a crown. What the fuck could that mean? What the hell could that mean? You're on the throne for Tyrandor.
She can't do math.
And then she goes, wait, are you the king of Tyrandor? Why would he have the fucking throne? Why would he have the throne, Violet?
Why would he make a sentiment?
And then him going, fuck no. Okay,
my
well,
chair?
Technically, yes. Technically, yes, by birth. But,
bitch, you could have asked that like right away when Kat said something about it.
that's what I'm saying. What did she think?
My
then?
house, my chair, she's like, it's just a cool chair.
She's like, this is a pretty sick
It's a
chair.
really
We
nice
could probably
big
put it in
chair.
our dining room.
Fucking dumb ass.
I just have questions.
She's so
That's all.
dumb. Okay, I loved this part. This was when, okay, she's being stupid again, and Zayden is like calling her out, and he's like, Violet, you were just in my thoughts. You know I think you're perfect, even when you frustrate the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me about the insecurity. I thought we handled that last year. And it comes down just a little bit, and then he says, she goes, and then has the nerve to tell me I'm not special just because you like to fuck me. He goes, I do like to fuck you. I love it, actually.
No, then she's like, don't agree with her.
Like, what do you want him to say?
I just love how he's just like, not that he's not taking it seriously, but he's kind of not taking it.
He's just like, are you hearing yourself right now?
Literally. He's like, yeah, right, I do. She's right.
I love it.
I will have to agree with her there.
And she's like, do not side with her. But I'm like, yeah, what do you fucking want him to say?
Yeah, he's like, actually, she's got me there. Incorrect.
And she would be pissed. Anyways.
Dumb bitch. Anyway.
She's so dumb.
Shall we move on to our favorite quotes?
Yes.
Or do you have anything else?
Oh, okay. It's kind of a quote, but it's just something I really liked the way that he handled this at the end of it. This is towards the very end of the chapter, and he says, like, I love you. She will never sit in this seat. He's king. He's literally, like, validation king.
Yes, he is.
She will never wear a terrace crown. She's never had me on my knees in front of her.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
also, I've never... Oh, I forgot.
I was like, keep going.
I forgot about this part. I just read this yesterday. Jesus Christ. And I've also never fucked her with my tongue. Anyways.
That's crazy. I know. No, I know.
That's such a crazy thing to say.
I respect it.
Imagine you're insecure
I get it. I
in
respect
a relationship. Like, yeah, but I've never...
It's reassuring.
I'm telling you, he's king of validation.
Do you think then... There's no way. I think the only girl he's ever gone down on is Violet.
He kind of seems like someone who'd be like, I don't go down on people.
It does.
They only go down
like,
on me.
Yep, it does kind of seem like
Doesn't
that.
he give that vibe?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just
A
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
Yeah.
But then with her, he's like, actually, I love a feast.
Actually, I love.
Give me a bib and a napkin. And give me a fork and a knife. I'm munching on her.
I'm diving in.
That was the grossest thing I think I've ever said, personally. But he munched in. Anyways, now we can go into our favorite quote.
Okay. Yeah. Take us away, Cassy.
Okay.
Whew.
I said this, I mentioned it earlier, but in chapter 47, Violet says, you know what bothers me? That you're obsessed with fighting over a man. The cat. Pretty iconic.
Yeah.
But also, girl, you fight with your man. So at the end of the day, who's really
The loser.
the fucking loser?
Okay, so I said obviously my house, my chair, my woman is one of my favorite quotes. But anyway, this is from chapter 47, Violet, and she says, she's just kind of crazy and unhinged for this. She says, "Tap out. I don't want her to submit. I want her to cease existing."
I gotta start using that.
Like I would like for you to cease existing, please.
That's it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's crazy.
Okay, my next one is also from chapter 47. Violet says, how dare she come after what's mine? He isn't a crown. He isn't a stepping stool for power. He isn't a tool to elevate her standing. He's everything.
Ooh.
Damn.
That's my man.
That's my man.
Okay. I think we didn't talk about this one. This one's kind of crazy. This is chapter 48 from Zayden. He said, because she says something about how she wants him. He says, you have me and I have you exactly where I need you. It's crazy.
Damn. See, most of this chapter I think about on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, Rebecca knew how to fucking write.
Yeah, take notes, boys.
Take notes. My last one is, I already mentioned this. Cassy, I spoiled. Chapter 48, and he goes, and you love me in spite of it, and that is one of the many reasons I will always choose you.
So cute. Yeah, I think we talked about mine too, but it's from chapter 48, Zayden, and it's just him saying, I don't like you thinking that you're not the center of my fucking world, yet here we are.
He's right. I'd be fucking exhausted if I was him.
I would be too. Like,
She
have I
has
not
some
made it clear that I'm
issues.
obsessed with you?
Uh-huh. She's like, no.
She's like, not really.
Your ex-girlfriend that you obviously seem to be so in love with still.
You're obviously obsessed with her.
Like, not me. Bitch.
All right, let's thrive and let's theorize.
Yep.
So we already kind of talked about the moment with Zayden and Violet, and the sending of the thoughts. But do we think this is a second signet, or do we think this is just another perk of their bond?
You know what? I can add it to my theory that her signet is something where she always needs things in the moment. Like,
In
it'll
that
come
moment,
to her.
she needed
She needed to hear it. she needed to hear his thoughts.
Yeah.
And I mean, Xaden said it himself that nothing he would have said would have helped her in the situation. And what she needed was to hear it from the literal brain.
Dang, that's kind of crazy. All right.
Y'all haters don't want to hear that, but
All
that's what I think.
I like it.
I don't know. I hate to be stuck on that theory that it's something that she just needs and it'll come to her, but it just seems like it keeps adding up.
Yeah.
Or her need to know things.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
What's weird to me is this is very different than any other time she's explained him sending something down the bond to her. Like, recently when they were in Corden and he sent her the images of them, like, hooking up, it wasn't in italics, and it was just, like, a flash of a memory, blah, blah, blah. When he sends her his POV, when she's trying to channel, it was written very differently, like, that she's getting a memory. This one was written, like, an inner monologue, in italics, like he was speaking to her. So something about the writing is just weird.
Yeah, and I can't tell if it's like pure editor, like the editor or whatever.
Yeah,
or if it's specific.
Something. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Either way, exciting, because if this is a new fun little perk to their bond,
love it.
And if she's intrinsic or whatever that might be, also love that for her.
Absolutely.
So I get it.
it adds to it
up.
for sure. Okay, this is something I have. Doesn't really have anything to do with chapter 48, but I'm very interested in Kat's signet. I think that it's just cool, the fact that she can intensify emotions. And I just want to ask and figure out, how does it work? Because I'm curious if it's like purely physical touch, like whenever she's like touching someone, or if she's near someone in like a close contact, or is it like, of course the words that she chooses would intensify it, but also is it like an eye contact thing? Like, I just don't know if she like directs that power, like the intensity, to someone, and then but I just find it very cool. This is one of my favorite signets because I think that is a pretty powerful thing. Gift. Sorry, it's not a signet, it's a gift.
It does seem like most of the gifts that the Flyers have are mind signets or power. So yeah, I do almost feel like it's a thing of like, if she's in the vicinity, she can kind of like look at you and like
that's
mess
crazy.
with your head.
So cool. Yeah, it's so cool to me.
So I don't know. You know who else has a lot of mind power things? Venom.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe she is the, what is it? The initiates, the ASIMs, the sage, and then the mavens
or generals, or
maybe she's the sage. That'd be crazy. I think we need more Kat in the next book.
I'm sure we'll get it. She's there. So.
She's there.
All right,
girl, you ate with these two.
Thank you.
I was having a really hard time, and I couldn't come up with anything that perfectly came up. But you ate with that.
Okay, so for the final jam, we have two. So first up, we have Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. I feel like that just like perfectly matches the vibe. Something about Xaden is making her feel like a dangerous woman. Yeah, I just think it matches the vibe of these two chapters. And then we have Crazy in Love, but the 50 Shades of Grey version, where it's like slow and sultry. So obviously y'all know where that would be in the show. Yeah. No, that's perfect, because as I watched that one scene, I was like, damn, this is like really good. Yeah, and like, he's crazy in love. What can he say? You ate with that shit. Round of applause for Brittany, guys. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Give it to her. Well, we did it. We did it, guys. I'm sad it's over. I hope we gave it at all. Yeah. I hope we gave it as much as we could. I know. It's just sometimes these little tiny smutty chapters are also, just enjoy it for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to your own entertainment.
And like no one could tell you how you feel about these chapters. It just is a feeling at the end of the day. Reading them over and over again, it just hits.
Yeah, I'm so sad this is the last
Fun
smutty,
part.
fun chapter.
Everything else goes crazy.
Goes downhill after this. So, well, thank you for listening, guys. we have some more exciting episodes coming up. We're really getting into it in these
We're about halfway, I think.
Yeah, the last few episodes that we have coming up. So, we're looking forward to it.
Make sure you guys follow us on our social medias. Give us some comments about things that you would like us to talk about. We do check them all the time. So we are very active on there. And you can always reach out to us on our socials. They will be in our link tree if you guys aren't already following us at Literally Obsessed Pod. Also, email us. We're on there too.
Yeah.
We're grandmas. You can email us.
Oh, yeah.
DM us. And go ahead and rate and share our Spotify and our Apple Podcasts. That's what they call it, right? Apple Podcasts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know if it's just podcasts on there.
Well, I mean, I guess the app. Yeah.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
And of course, check out the Patreon and our newsletter as well.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
We love
As
you.
always,
Hope you
love
see you
ya.
guys later for next week's.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
y'all.